Right. So we're beginning to record now, are we? All right. So I'm Stephen Scoffham, and I'm one of the district councillors. I was elected about 2.5 years ago, a little bit to my surprise, but absolutely delighted to be representing the Green Party. And I've got a role on the council because the Green Party formed the administration and are in charge of affairs, as it were. And my cabinet role is for climate, biodiversity, and environment, which is a really interesting range of things.
Wonderful. Why did you join the council?
Well, I thought that the environment really, really matters, and I wanted to do what I could to make a difference. And I've spent a lot of my life working and dealing with sustainability, environment, and working with teachers on the ways in which we can really sort of get to grips with a problem that is getting more and more prominent. And if we don't get to grips with it, then we know that we're in for really difficult times. So I wanted to just do my bit.
It's lovely. What is your opinion on green spaces in Folkestone?
Green spaces generally are a wonderful thing in cities. And one of the things we've got coming up in the district is a plan for a new town, which is going to be called Otterpool. And half the land in Otterpool is going to be green spaces. So that says something about the value of green spaces. I've noticed that the parks are heavily used. The lower leaves, that area there, is immensely popular, and there's a good reason for it, because being out of doors in nature, and all the things which happen in the world around us are explored in green spaces. And I suppose biologically, we used to, in the past, lived in very open countryside. So urban living is a new way of living, and having connections with the countryside alerts us to our roots.
Wonderful. Okay. Why do you believe that green spaces help us?
Well, I think they're calming. Green is a very calming colour. The sounds of nature and being in touch with the rhythms of the seasons. At the moment, the colours of the trees are absolutely wonderful. But in the spring, of course, you get a completely different range of things. When I'm in Folkestone, I actually try and go through the parks. So the little gardens at Kingsnorth Gardens, for example, I'll take a detour to go there because I find it is a place where I can relax. And when you're relaxing, thoughts come to the surface and you can begin to make sense of the world in a different way and get things into proportion. I try and go out on a walk when I can, simply so that I can clear my mind, work out what I'm doing, remind myself who I am, and enjoy moving around in nature.
I would love to see. Great, thank you. What is it about green spaces that helps our mind?
Well, green spaces are places where we can be ourselves, places where we're no longer driven, as it were. Well, normally when you're in a building or in an urban environment, you're going somewhere. In a green space, you can wander, you can meander. I read a wonderful book some time ago. It was called The Art of Getting Lost. In a green space, you can get lost, and then you can rediscover yourself and come back, having gone on, as it were, a little bit of a journey. That's just one way of answering it. But there's the psychologists will tell you a much more profound answer. Mine is a common sense answer.
We did have other questions that I didn't write down.
Keep going.
How can we help biodiversity?
Yeah, biodiversity. I mean, at the moment we're talking an awful lot about climate change, and climate change is hugely important, and it's much more apparent and visible in a funny sort of way. The loss of wildlife is something that we're very much aware of, but actually it's insidious. It happens bit by bit. So there's a threat or danger that 1 in 6 of the species in this country will go extinct fairly soon. And we're losing contact with the life support systems which we depend on. So wildlife, whether it's plants, whether it's trees, whether it's animals, birds, and so on, and interestingly, the soil itself, really, really important. I've just been reading this wonderful book about the life of the soil and all the ways in which the bacteria which live in the soil are absolutely critical to life, and they're in us as well. You know, that we are. If you think of yeast and things like that, that's all about bacteria, and yeah, it matters.
We've been going about 6 minutes now.
Right.
Um, is there anything that you would like to say?
Well, firstly, I'd like to say how pleased I am to be interviewed, because I think that talking to others and sharing ideas is absolutely crucial. Dylan, you came to, we met each other through the youth forum, and that's something which I'm very keen on. It's bringing younger people into the processes of which we deal with in the council, trying to give younger people a voice. There was I got some local primary schools involved in coming down to this civic centre to see where we made decisions and how we made decisions, and talking about things that mattered. And there was a young girl, probably about 8, I think, and she said, you know, if the animals go extinct, then this is going to be really serious. If the animals go extinct, then we go extinct, and that will be the end of the world. And I thought, gosh, this is somebody who's really young and setting out in life, and she's got that incredibly important message that wildlife in all its forms are absolutely crucial. It's got its right on its own. We talk an awful lot at the moment about how we don't have to measure everything, and just appreciate things for what they are. But if we don't have rich biodiversity, we don't have rich lives as human beings.
Thank you.
Good. And do you want to ask anything else?
I don't think.
I'd just like to say that I think it's really, I'm really heartened that this project is part of a number of other themes that you're studying at Folkestone College, and I think they all pick up on different aspects of the most important question that we face at the moment, and it's something that's really sort of I don't know. People don't want to hear about it some of the times, because it's not sometimes such a good news story. And finding what we can do and thinking of the different ways in which we can tackle or respond to the environment crisis and live more sustainably is not easy, but we make lots of small steps. It will make a difference. And one of the things we've been able to do, and I've been keen to work on with the council, is our plans for the future of the district. And we've keyed them into something called the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which you may have come across, but they're goals for the future for all countries of the world, and they cover things from environment, biodiversity, climate change, social justice, equality, and gender. And it really is inspiring to think that people together around the world are all working on this agenda. So thank you for inviting me to come to an interview.
Yes, thank you for coming. It's been wonderful interviewing you.
Thank you.
Brilliant.
Good.